So after literally hundreds of posts and videos made about me by Joanne Mossop, I've decided to make one back. Just one video. This is everything I've got to say on the matter and everything I know about the woman, and there won't be a back and forth. So first of all, who is Joanne Mossop? Joanne Mossop is the woman behind the channel, formerly known as Well, currently named Not On My Watch, and the is No Bacons on YouTube. What Mossop tries to do is completely destroy the lives of the people that she takes a dislike to. Now, at one point, she was a paid member of my channel, sent me messages on Facebook for months and months and months. A lot of voice notes. They're still there. I haven't heard most of them, and I never will hear most of them. Why she fell out with me was, it's not because I'm a bacon, because she thinks my content shouldn't be on YouTube. It's because she sent us a very nasty message about Rachel. And the start of the message was like, that Rachel's violent, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't even read the whole message. I just went, no thanks, pet, and blocked her because I didn't want an argument. That's it. That's what she's got against me. Now, as a result of blocking her, Joanne then started a harassment and trolling campaign against me, my partner, and several of my subscribers. So the first thing she did was contact my partner's workplace several times via email, trying to get us sacked. Now, my partner studied for 10 years to get that job, and this random woman just wants to take it away from her. So she can't pay her mortgage, she can't pay her car, she can't have a life. She just wants to destroy her for no other reason than she doesn't like me because I blocked her. She contacted Narcotics Anonymous and tried to get me kicked out of my recovery program. I used to have a subscriber called Duck Egg. Duck Egg disappeared after Mossop contacted her place of work, trying to ruin her career as well. Now, before Scotch Egg went to prison, Mossop and Scotch Egg were friends. He would do editing jobs for her and help her with technical stuff on her channel. And I don't think it was any coincidence that it was just after she fell out with me, she started contacting the prison that he was in, which caused him major problems inside and caused his cell to be searched several times. She also had Scotch Egg's elderly granddad's phone number taken off his call list so he could no longer contact him. Now, when Scotch Egg went to prison, the newspapers didn't report on it for some reason. So months later, Joanne Mossop contacted them to make sure they did an article. I'll put the link to this in the description. Now, I believe she's done this so that when Scotch Egg gets out of prison, this article is online to keep it hanging over his head and stop him with potential employers and progressing in his life. She's contacted social services in regards to several of my friends and their children, and even Smoking Sheriff. Speaking of Smoking Sheriff, she also contacted Hartlepool FC when he said on a video that he was a kid's football coach. She caused great problems for Karate Marty in the Philippines and was harassing his wife, Joan, telling her that if she didn't leave Martin, she would have her kids taken off her. Now, I've also had several people contact me, some of them friends, some of them just people I know from YouTube, and all three of these people told me in great detail about how Mossop had befriended them and groomed them and tried to use them in a trolling campaign against others. Those people are my good friend Sharon, Aztec Media, and Fake Phil. Now, with all three of these people, she would pretend she was their best friend, gathering information on them to later use against them when she fell out with them. With Fake Phil and Aztec Media, they had a group chat, and in that group chat, she would issue them a list of things to do on a daily basis to assist her in her real life, not online, real life trolling campaign. She even convinced Fake Phil that he didn't need to take his mental health medication. As a result of this, he was eventually sectioned under the Mental Health Act. She makes out online as if she's assisting the police in their inquiries. So he has an email from West Brom Police about what the police actually think about Mossop. In any case, I advise you that you are one of 3 reports which I hold for the same offender, who has now been formally spoken to, warned and advised regarding her actions that may constitute harassment. Should there be any further continuance, for example, in some cases she has contacted individuals' places of work to inform them of certain information without any evidential basis for doing so. She is, of course, entitled to make complaints, as we all are in that respect. In those occasions, only one email was sent to an employer, which would not constitute as harassment. Without a continuance in doing so, the employer would be the victim, not the person who it is about. You questioned the mental health of Mossop, and my findings were clear that she does have mental health issues and broke down in tears on several occasions whilst I spoke with her. She spends many hours per day on the internet, effectively trolling individuals and searching their social media accounts for any data she can find and use to continue whatever it is she sets out to try and achieve. As with all victims, our advice is clear, that if your data is accessible worldwide for all to see, it would be reasonable to expect that the data is freely available for others to use. Individuals should set their privacy settings accordingly and not share information they wouldn't want any others to see or use against them. Mossop informed me that she felt offended and needed to protect the children from sexual abuse in terms of the content that VC puts out for the public to see. I have informed her that it's her choice whether or not to watch it, and surely if you were offended then you wouldn't watch or subscribe to such posts, yet she appears to have some sort of obsession and basically believes she is some form of auditor of the internet, more specifically YouTube. Mossop has been informed that if she is offended by YouTube content, then she needs to report it directly to YouTube to address directly, specifically if it breaches their policies or is inappropriate, etc. For the public that follow controversial content online and where those individuals take part in either commenting or within live streams, posts, etc., Mossop will look to target people if they laugh or go along with whatever that content is, specifically if she does not agree with the content and or the post. She appears somewhat fixated in what other people are doing and doesn't want to let it go. Whatever she is trying to achieve, I question obsessive personality disorder. I'm not a mental health expert and it's not my place to diagnose. So having been told and formally advised, Mossop stormed off into the house in tears, having been effectively told off. Just prior to this, she offered to show me hundreds of screenshots, fucking hell, of what she called evidence that I should look through. She wants a continuance of the situation and appears to enjoy getting attention. The best form of avoiding Mossop is to perhaps not provide that attention she appears to thrive upon. I have since received a formal complaint from Mossop, which my supervisors are looking at due to my attendance, to advise her of her actions and to give her an appropriate warning. She has now focused her attention upon me and posted on her well page about some of the conversations we had and alleged conversations she had with a solicitor. Given that I'm now the focus of her campaign, that you will no longer be receiving any further correspondence or messages from Mossop. She has been advised not to name individuals online specifically, as those individuals may take civil action. West Midlands Police have received several complaints from Mossop regarding my visit via multiple methods in reporting, such as live chat, message us, and the make a complaint service over the days after my visit if the one complaint wasn't enough on its own. I am very confident that I will not be held to account for any of Mossop's claims which she makes. I offered referrals to mental health services, but they were declined. I can only state that she is not well, as I pointed out in my report. I doubt you will receive any continuance of issues from Mossop, but at this point, I will be filing this report accordingly. After the police sent this email to my friend, they still had to go out and see her on at least one other occasion, because she just won't stop. Now, I don't know this bit for certain, and this is just my opinion, but considering what the police have said in that email and what she has said online about other content creators, such as Paddy Conroy and Danny G, I would say it's a pretty safe bet that she was sending the police to Paddy's farm when Scotty G was there, and a pretty safe bet that it was her contacting Danny G's employer to lose him his job recently. There's a Facebook page from 2020 set up, and the name of the page is Joanne Mossop is Attracted to Kids.